Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach Jr. Full card predictions and breakdowns. Let's get right into it, starting with Frank Martin versus Barthélemy. I am going with a Frank Martin decision win here. Um, I think Barthélemy, of course, he's going to look to use the range. He's going to look to use that lead hand a lot as his main weapon, but I think Frank Martin's going to find ways in. I think he's way too skilled for Barthélemy. It's his first fight since that tank defeat, though. It's his first fight in over a year, so cobwebs will be there to be shaken off, and it could well be a potential banana skin here for Frank Martin, but I'm not going to risk getting go with the underdog. I am going to say that Frank Martin wins, but it's not going to be an easy fight. I'm going to say unanimous decision for Frank Martin, but it's going to be a very difficult one for Frank Martin to really fully get going. And he's going to have to take his time here. He's going to have to be smart. He's going to have to be patient. He's going to have to wait a lot for his moments to come. But they will come, and I think Frank Martin will be able to get the job done. But there are questions around it. Anyway, next up then, Jesus Ramos Jr. versus Shane Mosley Jr. I think that Ramos Jr. is going to absolutely bully Shane Mosley Jr. I think Ramos is going to get a stoppage rounds six to eight. I'd say kind of, yeah, 6 to 8. Jesus Ramos Jr. gets the win. I think he's going to absolutely bully Shane Mosley Jr. Ramos is pretty big for the division as well. He is. He's going to be way stronger than Mosley. Mosley's not going to be able to deal with the power, you know. Like, Mosley might be coming off a win against Danny Jacobs, but Jacobs is about 45 bloody years old. You know, we can't really base off that. Jesus Ramos is going to come and look to take Mosley's head off, and it's not going to end well for him whatsoever, not at all. Um, Ramos is going to be too strong up close. Mosley's not keeping him off him. Zero chance he keeps someone like Jesus Ramos Jr. off him. He's going to keep on and keep on coming. Um, he's going to be broken down to the body. Mosley's movement's going to be absolutely screwed, probably by round 4. Um, and he'll just be in there trying to survive. He won't be able to. Ramos is going to absolutely bully him and just destroy him physically and mentally. Destroy Shane Mosley Jr. I think it's going to be so easy for Ramos. I really think it's going to be easy for him. Mosley won't take a round off him. Ramos is going to use his size. He's going to, 90 knockouts out of 23. The guy's got bloody big power. He's relentless. I actually really do think that it is a mismatch. Okay, then. Next up, we go to Stephen Fulton versus Oshaki Foster. Um, Probably the most, would we say the most interesting fight on the card? Yeah. I'm going with Stephen Fulton to win. Yeah, I think Fulton wins. It's a good fight. It's a very good fight. Oshaki Foss is looking really good at the moment, but I think Stephen Fulton wins. Um, Yeah, Oshaki Foss is gonna be waiting for him a lot. I think it's gonna go the distance. I think Stephen Fulton's gonna outpoint him here, but it's not gonna be easy. I thought Stephen Fulton looked very good against Figueroa last time out. I thought he looked very good. Again, Oshaki Foster redeeming himself against Conceição. You know, good performance, good fight. Um, but I think Fulton's gonna be quicker here. I think Oshaki Foster's got a power advantage. I'd say that, but I look at Fulton and I think his lateral movement's going to be a big thing here. Oshaki Foster's got very quick hands, but I don't think his movement's on the same level as what Stephen Fulton's is. But Oshaki Foster's got very quick hands. He's got power in his hands as well. But I do expect Stephen Fulton to be able to get the job done here. I do. I think he's going to be quick. I think the jab's going to be a key factor for him. Um, yeah, I think he's got a better overall boxing IQ. And I think that's going to be a big thing which wins the ear for him. But again, I think it's a hard fight to fully break down because both guys overall are just very good. They are very good, and it's hard to say how one of them will lose. I think there's many possibilities of how the fight could play out, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But I think you've got to say Fulton wins. I've got to say Fulton wins. I think he's gonna be too smart, and I think he's gonna measure the distance better. And I think Oshaki Foster's gonna look to come in. I think Fulton's right hand's gonna be very dangerous to be honest, and I think Oshaki Foster's gonna be walking onto it quite a bit. Um, yeah, I think Fulton will be able to set the smarter traps. I trust him better at this level. That's what I'm saying. Stephen Fulton wins decision. Could be majority. It could be split. It could be very close, to be honest, or it could be wide. I'm just gonna say decision. Okay, Arislandi Lara versus Yanni Beck. Um, I think at this point you've got to go with Yanni Beck to win. I don't think he stops Lara. I don't. I think he goes the distance. It's It's interesting. Lara's 41. He's not fully past it. He's a world champ. Obviously, against Danny Garcia, it's like he didn't really need to do much. We didn't see loads of movements from him. It did look like he kind of did lose his step a bit. Not as quick as usual, not as light on his feet, not as bouncy, not as flashy with that Cuban style, but still got his power. Still, from what we saw, got world class level timing. But I think Yanni Beck, with his power and the combinations he puts together, I think he's going to be willing to take much more risk than what Lara is. He's the younger guy, and I think an assault to the body that I think Yanibek could put on him is going to take a toll on the body of Lara. But I still see him staying in the fight though. But I think Yanibek's going to be able to put a bit of a beat down on him here and there. I think Lara's going to start well. His jab's going to be a bit difficult to figure out. Both guys are southpaws though, so again, could be interesting. But I think Lara's jab's going to take a bit of time for Yanibek to figure out that lead hand, the Cuban lead hand of Arislandi Lara. But I think once Yanni Bear gets a rhythm going, gets going to the body, I think his power is just on a different level in that middleweight division. I don't think anyone hits as hard as Yanni Beck in that middleweight division, not at all. Lara's got power and he's just got the timing as well, which is big. But again, I think he has lost the steps slightly. I mean, he's doing really well. What is he, 40, 41? He's older now, though. Things are gonna start to take a toll, especially if you're in there with someone like Yanni Beck, who's gonna be relentless and pressuring. I think it's gonna be a real pain in the ass for Lara quite a bit as we go. So I'm gonna say Yanni Beck wins unanimous decision. Okay, then we get to our main event: Isaac Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach Jr. I'm picking Lamont Roach to win. Um, I think honestly, I think he's got some of the best defense in boxing. 100 bloody percent he has. I think he's got some of the best defense in boxing. I think we're going to see a lot more movement from Roach this time around because when he fought Tank in his last one, he stood his ground quite a lot, like to stand his ground, take shots and counter. Um, Come back with really quick counters after giving some and taking some. Giving them even better back. But against Pitbull Cruz, I don't think that's the kind of fight he's going to want to fight. Pitbull's going to be relentless. He's going to look to try and back him up. Roach is going to have to fight this fight off the back foot. And I think he's going to be able to get some counters through, definitely. I think he needs to try and keep off the ropes, be on the back foot, but don't let him, just don't hang around on the ropes. That's what Roach can't afford to do here. But again, his defense is very good, and it could be very frustrating for Pitbull. It really could. Um, Lamont Roach's straight shots, I think, are going to be a big thing here. I think we're not going to see a massive hook game here from Lamont. I don't think it's going to be very hook heavy. I think it's going to be a lot of straight shots, very quick straight shots, peppering Cruz as he comes in. Um, he's going to have to fight very smart, but I think that's what Roach will do. I think he's going to be able to outsmart Pitbull Cruz. Um, Again, Pitbull Cruz has got a style that can beat anybody, but I think, Jose Venezuela showed another way to beat Cruz. People have shown ways on how you beat a tank. Venezuela. I think Roach is going to really show us all. I think it's going to be a real good schooling, dominant performance from Lamont Roach Jr. Um, I think he's too good defensively. I think we're going to see much more movement from him here. He's going to be on his toes a lot more. It's going to be a very smart, well calculated performance. Unanimous decision, I'm saying, for Roach. Anyway, there were my predictions. I'm really looking forward to this card as well. It's going to be good.